wolves here as Ezreal ults the wave again.
But I'm a lot more scared of an Alawi than I am of a Nocturne, to be fair. I think Feathers and Fur is really putting on a clinic on how to farm up here. And oh my goodness, a Wolf taking a big chunk of damage here. And KibCat also taking a big chunk of damage. That Soul Tether just doing a lot of work as KibCat chunked to under half HP.
Yeah, it's not looking good for him. I believe he got hit by that tentacle too, so not in the best of spots. And if Nocturne wants to come top, they could maybe look on the Camille, who does not have flash. But, you know, Camille's respecting it, puts the ward down as Feather and Fur.
This could be a dive.
If the E lands, maybe? Oh,
Not anymore.
it's not happening. But that's a lot of plates going over to the Alawi so soon.
She's 3 plates up 30 farm. She is in a great position here. Should have the Hull Breaker in base if she wants to grab that one up.
Yeah, and
I know,
Mythic
she's just gonna
check,
push the
we
wave.
got the Gale Force finish for the Jhin while Ezreal picks up the Sunder. The mid laners should have their Mythics on their next back as well. And yeah, Orianna pushing in the wave, but Lux is top, so that's going to be another wave missed. Amumu looking to catch some of them.
Moo will at least grab some of that wave here, but Sunder on the Ezreal, I don't know how I feel about that one.
Not the best in terms of the damage output. Maybe he's trying to look to get more of the tanks, I'm not really sure. This is really risky by Ori. Bandage misses.
Oh no,
And
it goes wide.
yeah, and Ori is able to get out there, able to hold on to that flash as well, as she just gets zoned off of mid, so Nocturne coming over to help out a bit. This next dragon is coming up soon. The Wolves picked up the first one in trade for the Herald. We'll see what ends up happening if they do end up fighting for the second dragon.
And the flash goes forward here as they're looking to try and take out the Blitzcrank nice and quickly, but so much damage is down, but it should just be a free kill as Newt will take down Flaccid.
Yeah, Nocturne picking up the kills with his ultimates. They are coming to fruition now, as that's another pick, and Alawi just continuing to hack the kill lane.
KibCat taking a lot of damage and constantly landing these Tesla Spears. He's doing a lot of work here for Feathers and Fur.
Yeah, I believe, yeah, he's like 1,200 gold ahead on the kill already. It's going to keep getting worse as he picks up more and more plates.
Oh, they're going in. This is not the play here. If the Tesla Spirit does land here, gonna use that Hextech Ultimatum with the Ignite here. Does land it, and down goes the Leap of Faith, doing so much damage. Camille should just go down with one more slam as Defoe will be taken down. Sorry, as Chris is next on the menu. These turrets, or these tentacles are doing so much damage here as the ultimate comes out, but they aren't gonna be able to convert on anything.
You don't gank an Alawi after 6. The Supreme just didn't know he comes bot, and Alawi just ults and picks up the kill on the Camille. It wasn't even hard, like it was just too easy for him, as this is exactly what Alawi wants to happen. Picks up his first kill and is gonna go home to spend 1,300 gold. The Ori also dies, the Dragon also gets picked up. The Wolf coming out so far ahead in these last couple minutes.
Awoke getting a solo kill on Defoe.
Yeah, no jungle intervention. He just spaced well, dodged Lux's abilities, and gets his ult down, so he's able to pick up the kill on the Lux.
But as things do go on here, it's a big lead for the Wolves. They're up 2,000 gold. A lot of it, though, is on that Alawi.
Yeah, exactly. The Alawi has finished up the Hull Breaker, so she is going to be a split push menace. I want to see her taking down that top turret, moving down bot, and then doing the exact same thing over again.
And she is just going to keep pushing this wave. This Hull Breaker is going to keep her so tanky, but Defoe does land that light binding here, but Defoe going to take a big chunk of damage. Shockwave is going to land, and Awoke should just be able to find the kill once more. Auto is not enough, but there comes the two-shot barrage to just clear out the wave a little bit here.
Yeah, and the Lux...
Lands under the tower! This should just be a free kill. Pen is going to try and get out of safety, but the tower will find the kill with the Ignite ticking as Flaccid gets the kill.
Yeah, beautiful pull, ends up in the kill as he hooks the Jhin under tower there. And yeah, just great capitalization by the bot lane. Barely getting the Jhin from behind his minions. And ooh, this Ori's getting really strong now. And we talked about how the Lux and Ori matchup should go, right? The Lux has the range advantage. Ori cannot walk up. But Defoe greets for the passive procs, tries to auto the Ori, but Ori just hard wins these DPS trades and is able to just get the ult off because Lux went for the auto and ends up almost dying there.
Orianna has a lot more consistency with her damage, whereas Lux is fully about that burst. Cooldown is just so much longer.
Exactly, yeah, you gotta play to your strength, so we'll have to see who ends up doing that better as this game goes on. As the Nocturne picks up the Herald for free.
And the Wolves are in a great position, right? Up 2.2 thousand gold, grabbing up these objectives, right? They're up 2 dragons. They just were able to grab up that Herald and can look to put that towards the top lane and just get more gold into Zalawi, who's becoming such a menace on the side lane.
Exactly, that tower is down. I want to see her try and move into some other lanes, keep pushing her power as well, as they need to find a way to deal with her, honestly. It's so hard to deal with an Alawi who can just like ult when other people come, and it's so hard to kite them out, you know? You need the Ezreal or the Lux who aren't the best at killing.
Oh, wait, is that the hook you want to land here? Is Feathers
No.
is going to be walking right into a Lux, but doesn't really mean anything as she can just walk out to safety.
Yeah, she just walks. She comes back in. She doesn't give a damn.
She does not care. She is so unbelievably strong. Richest member on either team.
Yeah, and that's the power of the Hullbreaker, right? When you're alone, you are just given so much stats. You get more increased damage to towers, and it's just really hard to deal with you at that point. And that's exactly how Ilaoi wants to play. So really good itemization by Feathers.
And KitKat is struggling a little bit in this lane, right? Down 70 CS now. It's only gotten worse.
Yeah, like, if I was so tanky, he just hit the tower while Camille's like trying to tickle.
Trying to tickle, but they're looking to try and catch out Chris here, who cannot hit. But here comes the Curse of Sad Mummy. Lands only onto one, but there comes the Paranoia doing so much damage. The Shockwave is going to land as well. This kill should just be free, and Newt will grab another. It's a killing spree for the Nocturne.
Yeah, the ball delivery system with the Nocturne and Orianna ult combining to get the kill onto the Amumu. He tried his best to ult the Nocturne and then blast Cone out, but, you know, it wasn't the right map.
Uh-oh. That ultimate's going to land, but there comes the Deadly Flourish from downtown. It should just be a free kill as Nunu just autos Defoe to death, and it's not even close.
Yeah, the Jin W actually coming in from downtown to snare up the Lux and allow Nocturne to get that kill. Let's bring it.
And KitKat has been forced to match this just a little bit to try and defend, but I don't think they're going to be able to do so as the Herald crashes down, breaks the tower, and is looking to do it a little bit more work.
Yeah, that should be 2 Herald charges here coming out. A lot of gold going over to the side of the Wolves. The Dragon is going to be spawning soon. We'll see if they want to spend their gold or just go straight to it because there's only 30 seconds left.
You talked about how, you know, they need to kite out this Alawi. If they have a Luxury and Ezreal, it should be fine, but Alawi has the Iceborne Gauntlet. How are you running from this monster in the top lane?
The split push continues. That's another turret going down to Alawi. They just got the 3 outer turrets and an
You see the
inner
pings.
turret.
They want her.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't know if this is the play you want to make, good sir. As
melee
Flaccid is going to
characters
run
towards
away,
Alawi.
run for the hills. The slow is going to land, but the knockup is there first. But Feathers will land that Test of Spirit, and it's going to just chunk away at the health bar of the Blitz.
Yeah, and chunking the Blitz is really important because he's the one who has to walk up, try and look for hooks. But if he's going to get poked out like this, it's just so hard. He gets hit by the tentacles
no.
too. It's a disaster.
It's a disaster. Already chunked to half HP in a rough spot, and this should just be a free dragon over to the side of the Wolves. They are showing us how to play with these lane advantages that they've garnered. And Feathers just walking up is not really afraid. The hook into the middle of the team. Is that what you want to be doing as the flash goes out from Feathers? But there's a lot of damage there onto Ezreal, who's trying to run out to safety here. Everyone is getting chunked by these tentacles who are doing so much work. Flash forward from Arcsknight. They find the kill onto the Nocturne. The shutdown goes through, but out comes Jin, who finds a deadly flourish into the back line, taking out Amumu. And the dragon goes down as well.
Yeah, they were just chilling, fighting in the jungle, getting a 1-for-1 jungler trade, while the dragon does end up being picked up. That's 3. They are on soul point for the Infernal Soul. That is actually a really big deal for the Wolves.
And they couldn't even get the top tower, but they land a hook there onto Mike, but I don't think it does anything.
Not really. But Maokai, he's finished up the Sunfire. He's going tank. He's not a squishy character anymore.
And they can't even get the tower. They can't even claim an objective bounty. Alawi wasn't there topside at all. And the Camille just doesn't have the pushing power.
Yeah, there's a 2-item Alawi coming. She better leave or she's going to get smashed by the tentacles. As the split push continues, Alawi's looking for that next inner tower.
Gonna base, get a little bit more mana back because that is Alawi's biggest weakness, just not having mana. And the True Shot Barrage couldn't even kill the little chickens.
Yeah, and you've seen Ezreal, he's been ulting off cooldown, and while that has resulted in the tier being completed really fast, he hasn't had ults for some fights that maybe he could have made a difference in. you've seen global ults make such a big difference, like with those Jinx rockets in the other game. Ezreal ult could have maybe done the same thing, but it's just always been on cooldown, so we've never seen it happen.
Definitely here. And, I mean, the Astronauts are down 5k gold at this point. They are in a rough position.
Yeah, for sure, but it's not over yet. They have so much catch potential, and when that's there, the game is never finished. If they are able to get the vision down earlier, be the first to the objective, and get an odd-numbered fight before the entire team arrives, they can easily just kill the Ori, kill the Jhin, and the team fight is just won.
Yeah, they are setting up towards the top side of the map here, getting things set up. But Flaccid is just trying to find that miracle hook, trying to get something done with the side of the Astronauts.
Yeah, and the Ilawis have actually picked up the stopwatch here, whether that means going for the GA or just trying to get a really big advantage in a fight. It's going to keep helping her push this lead. She's at 219 CS right now, taking towers left and right. It's just 3k ahead of her lane opponent. They need to find a way to shut her down somehow.
And I mean, I just don't think they have the great composition for that. They don't really have the DPS to take down Alawi, and their burst is sort of lacking because they aren't ahead.
I mean, the fact that Jhin walks up to a Blitzcrank and starts autoing him is just sad. Like, that shouldn't... Oh, yeah.
That should be illegal. That is the kind of just the worst thing you could ever see there as a Blitzcrank, where your team just can't really back you up. You know, they don't really have the damage to burst out an 80 carry of all things.
Yeah, and now the Wolves are taking over the Astronauts jungle, giving Jhin that red buff and completely taking over.
And Newt just getting these Krugs into the back pocket. They're pushing down this bot wave here. Actually, Defoe going to steal that big Krug away. But Mike just walking forward, placing these saplings here, chunking out Defoe a little bit.
Yeah, and I want to see them try and accelerate this lead, you know, go towards the Baron. If you have the Ilawi who's been sitting there for a little bit, there's just going to be so many tentacles that spawn like there are in the top lane, and it's impossible for the side of Astronauts to walk in.
She's just sitting in her tentacle setup, and there's no one who can take her down right now. She does not have to be afraid at all.
Yeah, she's got the Holy Trinity. Camille gonna try and pop them, but
She's going in here, but I don't know if that's the play here. The Tesla Spirit is going to land, but the hook, I don't know if that's what you wanted to hook there, my friend, but Alawi doesn't have the ultimate anymore. The Crystal Mummy is going to land here. The Locke are going to buy some time with the shield, but Feathers should go down, but is going to try and trade it 1-for-1. The stopwatch is going to buy some time, but Feathers doesn't have the flash here, doesn't have the damage. The shutdown goes over. This could be Arcs Knight picking up the kill.
yeah, and Alawi finally ends up going down, the bounty going to Ezreal of all people. That's exactly what the Astronauts wanted, and that is huge. The Ezreal is online with the Sunder, the Merman, and he picks up some additional armor pen for the future. And Alawi, you know, bit of an overstep there, does end up going down because the team isn't pressuring on the other side of the map. They weren't able to really get anything off of it.
They couldn't even capitalize. They couldn't grab that tier 2 in exchange for Alawi's life, right? So that's a big chunk of gold, and they get an objective bounty, which is even more gold towards them, towards their back pockets. But the Dragon's up in 30, and the Astronauts have no setup.
Yeah, and Alawi may need to TP down, which means the tentacles aren't going to be ready for the fight. I want to see the Astronauts trying to look for something before all the setup is there, but right now it's all just river control is on the side of the Wolves.
There's nothing really that the Astronauts can do at this point in the game to just try and get something done. They need to be there first and get a setup. Get this Blitzcrank into Fog of War and look for these hooks to try and burst out one target at the very least. With all, or at least 4 members, maybe 5, they can take out 1 at the very least and get some more gold into their back pockets.
Yeah, and the key thing is Camille is botched. He has blown that TP while Alawi continues to split push. So what does this mean? They're going to go for a trade. You can have it Infernal. We're going to take a Baron.
And I think this is a worthwhile trade. They could have just gone for the soul, but getting the Baron means they have more pushing power, and it's pretty hard to siege against an Ezreal and a Lux. You can just wave clear from light years away. So having this Baron just makes it so hard to actually deal with those minions. At the very least, they do get a dragon in return for it.
Yeah, they do get the dragon. I believe that was an objective bounty of 500 gold split between the teams. They get another tower as well too, so that's 2 towers and a dragon. Objective bounty from all of them going over. So Astronauts getting a lot of gold in them because of this. I don't know, I feel like with the 5k gold lead that the Wolves had, they shouldn't be compromising. They should be able to just get both.
But at the very least, they're going to grab 1 tower. And, I mean, I still think overall the Wolves did get the better end of the stick so far. They were able to buy themselves some more time by taking out that dragon, and they got a couple towers too.
Yeah, and I want to point out that Ilaoi has completed the Guardian Angel now. It's going to be so much harder to finish her off as she will come back up and do it again. So she'll be looking to go into that top lane. Ooh. Spell
Ooh.
shield. We talked about it. The spell shield going to be on time. Looks like the fingers are there for Newt.
Newt is raring to go here, and Dragon's up in just under 4 minutes, but they need to use this Baron buff because they did trade it for the Dragon. They could have had Soul, but they opted for the Baron trade, so they are trying to get value out of this to just justify that decision.
Yeah, and that's 5 more minutes of stalling for people to get their items, you know. There's going to be a lot more tank power that Jin has to try and go through. He's gone Gale Force IE and is on track for another Zeal item, I believe, the RFC, which means no armor pen. So, and the Orianna's gone Ludens too. Like, who is dealing with these tanks other than maybe the Ilaoi?
And unfortunately, no Lord Dominic's coming in for Pen, which I don't think is the greatest. They don't really have ways to deal with these frontliners. But down they go. And the Crystal Sand Mummy going to land on absolutely no one. Curtains are going to open up here, so they're trying to find the damage. Supreme Chris should go down. One more shot will find it. The fourth will do so, but they lose one in return. Mike is so incredibly low, should go down as well. But Alawi is contesting the inhib. He's going to be able to get that one very, very easily, but they do trade 2 members for it.
Yeah, 2 for 1, but it was a 4v5. Actually, I believe that Camille may not have been there, but Ilaoi making quick work of the base. That's the tower and the inhib going down. We'll see if she ends up getting away.
Oh, they're trying. They might be looking to try and find the kill here, but Classic going to get caught out by the Test of the Spirit, and Alawi's going to dump down the tentacles with the Leap of Faith, doing so much damage, but they cannot find the kill. They cannot convert on anything just yet. Tentacles are going to go wide. There goes the Final Spark. Will find the kill, put them into the GA, as Feathers should just go down nice and easy here. Cannot take one down with them.
Yeah, the key thing was that Ilaoi did not have ulti. She used it in a prior engagement with the Camille, and because of that, she can't be the usual Ilaoi that can 1v4, as they're able to kite her, able to kill her because they got the carries. And, you know, it was an interesting trade. You gave some kills away. I think overall that was a 3 for 1 for the side of Astronauts, but it means your top lane inhib is gone, your top lane tower is gone. So we'll have to see who ends up getting the better of this long term.
They need to really hunker down and just play as a team right now and make sure Alawi is dying as long as they are getting something in return. And unfortunately, the GA is down, right? That's 5 minutes. That cooldown is going to be not going to be up here for the Dragon or for the Baron.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of wasted there as you're just going down again, and you're not going to have it for a key team fight. And I believe, I don't know if the stopwatch got used. I think it did. So we'll have to see the value of this item, because that's, I believe, 2,800 gold that could be used for a lot more tank stats or damage or anything like that. So it's a pretty risky buy there.
The Cleaver is going to be finished up here for Feathers very shortly, and this Dragon is up here in just over a minute.
Yeah, the 2 Black Cleavers are going to be helping deal with these tanks, spread their armor so the carries can deal damage. The Nocturne is going to be having that for the team fights, but we'll have to see if he's actually hitting the tanks, because usually the Nocturne is just diving for carries. So will this armor really be shredded for the tanks? I think not.
Not really. They're mostly just trying to dive there onto Defoe, onto Arcs Knight from what we've seen in these prior engagements. Newt has been trying to assassinate these targets, but realistically, this build isn't meant for that, right? You don't really have that much agency when it comes to one-shotting a squishy. You don't have lethality. You're mostly relying on base numbers and just a little bit of AD, right? No actual flat pen or armor pen in general.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll see if that ends up helping out, as the next dragon is spawning in 15 seconds. The wolves have full control of this river. The tentacles have been spawned. How do the astronauts break in?
It's going to be very difficult, but they need to contest to the bot side of the map here, but the wave has already been shoved, but they're looking for a hook
yeah,
down
let's
to
hook
Feathers.
Alawi, guys.
I don't know if you want to hook Alawi, as Flaccid may be the one traded down for it. Falcon is going to buy some space here. The shot will come from the dark and find the kill as the curtains are open once more, as Chris taking so much damage. They're just trying to find out the jungler take him down, and he will fall as Feathers will find that one down with a slam. Dunk as KitKat diving, trying to find Newt here, should be able to do so. The Hextech Ultimatum will find the kill, but Feathers will finally leap forward with a leap of faith, finding the damage, but KitKat dashes forward, cannot find the kill, as down goes Arcslave, but no, the grenade from downtown will find the kill. The fourth bounce will find that mark, and they should be able to get that dragon.
Yeah, 3 for 2 means they're gonna get that dragon as the minions are marching into the side of Astronaut's base. But, like, Placid, what was that? You do not hook an Alawi, man. You just gave her a free engage, gave yourself a death sentence as they pick up the Infernal Soul.
And the Infernal Soul is going to help out a lot. The wave clear is going to be a lot better from everyone on the Wolves. They have more damage, which is really important, especially considering, they have an Orion who's really known as a scaling control mage. They have a Jhin who loves attack damage. And, Feathers and Fur would love AD, especially considering that they have a very, very defensive sort of build, right? They have Iceborne Gauntlet, they have Guardian Angel. Very, very defensive-centric.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have to see. Like, Astronaut's got to try and find another angle. You cannot look on the Alawi or anything like that. You have to find the Oriana and the Jhin somehow. The Baron's being started, and the Astronauts just don't seem to be ready again. The Jhin is pretty low, but they can't really punish it at all. That's the Baron delivering.
It's going to go down, but the Final Spark not going to find the damage here, and they're going to channel their bases, get their gold spent here, as the two-shot barrage is going to land on the two. Not going to stop any bases, but they're going to get some more gold into the back pockets, finish up some items. Look at that Jhin already has that Lord Dominic's Regard here, so reaching more breakpoints.
Some dire circumstances come now as we got the third item being finished, the Death's Dance for the Nocturne, and the Alawi finishing up another item as well. She's got the Black Cleaver. Jin's got 4 items. It's looking a bit rough for the Astronauts. And the Wolves, they're going to be grouping up. They're going to be marching down mid, looking to end this game.
Inhibitor has respawned here on the top side, so at the very least, the Astronauts don't have to constantly worry about top wave being shoved in. But all things considered, they're in a little bit of a precarious situation, like you did say, right there. The minions are baroned up. They don't really have as much wave clear anymore. So they're just going to have to try and turtle for a little bit here, but Elder's up in 4 minutes, and that, if they lose the Elder, it's just a death sentence.
I don't think you can even turtle too. I feel like you need to do a death push or something because you are so far behind now. It's really hard for you to win these team fights, but yeah, maybe they're going to try and survive to the Elder and flip it.
And, flipping the Elder is their best bet currently, other than a Death Brush. But, I don't know if they have a damage for the Death Brush, right? Lux is only on 3 items, and really, those items don't do that much damage. Morello is very utility-oriented, and, they need a Death Cap, they need a Void Staff, they need something, but the Shootout Barrage is going to go wide.
Yeah, and Alawi, the beast, the Guardian Angel's back up. She's pushing down bot, and Camille is just tickling her with her little knife.
The Knife Leg's not doing all that much here, and the tower should go down. It's going to get on very, very quickly, and they're going to be able to use that pressure to push this mid lane in, as someone has to deal with Alawi, because no one else can.
Yeah, Lux cannot wave clear Baron minions. It's just so easy to crack the base for the Baron.
And they're hitting away this inhibitor. It should go down very, very quickly here, and they could just look to match and rotate down to Alawi. Hook is going to land on a minion. Special delivery. And both inhibs are down. They can path towards top and get that one too.
Yep, third inhib looking to come down here. Blitzcranks, you gotta keep fishing. Look for a flash hook.
Oh no, Chris walked up way too far forward. Chris's that mummy lands only onto the front line, and it should just be a free kill onto the mummy.
That's their big engage gone. We need a miracle blitz hook right now.
And the curtains are going to open once more as they're trying to find these shots in the dark. But KitKat diving may have dove in way too far forward here and should just go down nice and easy as Awoke finds the kill. Flaccid going to get locked up there by the Test of the Spirit. Should fall to the tentacle, slamming down and around. And where did you go, Arcs Knights? That's not your base, as Arcs Knight goes down and the towers fall suit. And this should just be the Nexus falling as well.
And Wolves defying all odds. Defying all circumstances, gonna pick up another win, going 3-0 for the night. They are on the comeback, looking to show themselves as a contender for this league.
3-0 in favor of the Wolves tonight. They have had a great showing so far, and on stream, there were a couple blunders, but they looked great.
Yeah, and honestly, I gotta give it to them, man. They played so well all together. The Oriana finding solo kills, Jhin and Maokai getting so much threat in this lane, but ultimately, that Illaoi in the top lane, just attracting so much pressure from the other team, doing the most damage in the game. And the KDA might not have shown it, but she was just so rich, exerting so much pressure, continuously drawing multiple people to her as they continue to get dragons because of it. And in the end, they got the Infernal Soul, and their team fight was just too good for the astronauts to compete with.
And with that, though, I mean, the Wolves are back in the running, right? They are looking amazing now. They are now 6-10 now.
Oh no,
Or
5
sorry,
and 10.
5-10. They are 5-10. So they are clawing their way back into the standings, right? Unicorns are now 4-11. So they're only one win away from sixth place.
Yeah, one win away from sixth, 2 wins away from third. Okay, that of the bracket is so close. And with these next 2 weeks coming up, it's crunch time for all the teams in that little sandwich over there. That's make or break time for them. But we'll have to see how that goes next week. Please do not miss it.
Mm-hmm. Make or break next week and the week after. It's going to be very scary for that whole sandwich, and even for VRD. It is also make or break for them too, right? It's a sandwich there too. Seventh place to fourth place, it's only a 3-win difference overall.
Yeah, exactly. And first to third, it's a tie. All these teams are at 10 wins. So in these next 2 weeks, it's going to be a spicy set of games, and we'll have to see who comes out on top.
Mm-hmm. Who will stand tall above the rest? We won't know until we find out next week, and we'll catch you all there. See you in just a week. Bye,
Bye
friends.
bye.